Hello, welcome to the Gab Juls Show. No Gab today, so look who's here, Dan
who's this?
Hutchison. And we've got another guest, the 2026 World Cup ball, Trionda or Trionda,
It's like
depending.
Wilson from Castaway.
Yeah, it's a bit like that. It is, I mean, there's also other football available, not just Wilson and Trionda, whatever.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, isn't
Love
it?
it,
With
yeah,
the three
love it.
colours of the three countries that we're hosting. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We've got a big show because there was a lot of great games all around Europe, all around the world. It's obviously the international break, so we're also going to talk about England with you, Don. But really, let's start at Stamford Bridge for
Only
Chelsea.
one place to
Liverpool.
start, huh?
Only one place to start. Great game. Another defeat for Liverpool, the
Yep.
third in a row in all competition. It was 3 difficult away games, away at Palace, away at Galatasaray, and away at Chelsea. I think some people are saying it's a mini crisis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it is. They're still second in the table. We kind of knew that there was some transition
Yeah.
to put in place and that it was going to take a little bit of time. But some people think it's a crisis. What do you make of it?
I do think it's a crisis, not because of the results, obviously because of the results, but the performances. Because when you analyse the Crystal Palace game last
Yeah.
week, they should have been 5-0 down.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
correct.
7 massive chances created. They should have got walloped. Gala's a different story. You can go to Gala, you can try Frimpong on the right wing, and you can try something different because there's so many games in the Champions League. What I'm seeing now from Liverpool's point of view, which goes back to match day 1 against Bournemouth, you're looking at a side now who play basketball. Now, that can go in your favour when you
Yeah.
score late goals, but it can go against you conceding late goals. People called Liverpool, I find this quite funny because people called Liverpool boring last season when they were winning 2-0,
when they were in
3-0.
control.
And
Yeah.
it was like, they're winning 2-3, 4-0 because they're in control.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Liverpool in control of a game. Maybe 45 minutes against Everton, but not in the second half.
Yeah.
Definitely not against Newcastle when Newcastle were down to 10 men.
Yeah, yeah.
So now you're looking at a side now that are playing basketball, got no control, relying on individual quality. And in the Premier League, the games are so tough, it can literally go either way. So the game next for them is Man United at home.
Yeah.
So you go, well, can they lose that one? No.
After the break. I know they can't.
So what I'm seeing at the minute, Jules, is a lot of work for Arne
Yeah.
Slot to do.
Yeah, and in a way, because of the new signings,
Yeah.
and Vies was benched.
I feel sorry for him,
game.
you know.
Yeah, me too.
Because
a
the
bit.
Atletico Madrid game, he had a brilliant bit of skill and he put one on a play for Mo Salah who
Yeah.
hit the post.
Yeah.
So you go, you've lost an assist there.
Yeah, yeah.
The weekend, the brilliant Cruyff turn that he put Mo Salah in,
Yeah, the
who
back in,
shanked
yeah.
it with his right foot.
Yeah,
It could be
yeah.
a couple of
Yeah,
assists
I agree.
in.
I'm with you.
So I feel a little bit for him.
Yeah, and I think the problems are bigger than just is Vies the right guy?
Definitely.
Where do you play him? Because
Yeah.
he's clearly very talented, but you know, Isak
Yeah.
defensively, I know he wanted to change, and Konate had a bit of a niggle. He put Gravenberch as a centre back
Yeah.
who covers on the second goal,
Yeah.
while Robertson is asleep. at
His
the
hands
far
on his
post,
knees.
hands on his knee before the ball is played.
Yeah.
It's quite at that level to consider a goal like this.
It's amateurish.
Yeah,
You know,
really. is, isn't
yeah.
it?
You'd look at a League Two player doing that hands
Yeah,
on knees and you
exactly.
go, that's why you're in League Two.
Yeah,
Andy
exactly.
Robertson, who's, experienced, should
Yeah,
know better.
absolutely.
You get yourself in a good body shape, you clear the danger, then you get your rest. I know you'd made a 50, 60
Yeah, of
yard
course,
run. I
but
get
still.
it, but still, come on,
Yeah,
like
I
you
agree.
can defend. But I think there's so much going on.
Yeah, you're right.
They've
you're
lost
right.
Trent, brilliant player who opened up 50-odd passes. Luis Diaz, I thought was the one. When Cody Gakpo and Luis Diaz were linked with Bayern, my personal opinion was I'd have kept Diaz. Now, I know he might have been the one that was itching for the move.
He wanted to leave, yeah.
But you've lost a brilliant player
Yeah,
who can
for
then
sure.
take Liverpool up the pitch.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think it's an uncomfortable conversation to have with Mo Salah. Because
Yeah.
I'm watching Michael Elise play at Bayern and I'm thinking, that's the natural replacement. Now, he's never going to get Salah's goals, but he's a better footballer.
Yeah. I mean, credit to Chelsea as well,
Yeah.
because it's their win. They went and found a way, despite losing 2 more centre backs,
Yeah.
having to play with Reece James as a centre back for the whole
large parts.
Yeah, last 30 minutes or so of the game. Maresca was under a lot of pressure,
Yeah.
and you saw with his celebration on that second goal, which
Yeah.
then gave him a second yellow and a red card.
Another red card for Chelsea.
Another red card for Chelsea. But what I knew how much he was under pressure.
Yeah.
Right? This is a big win.
Well, two defeats on the spin before
yeah.
a Liverpool game. So it was huge for him. I mean, how good was Estefan?
Yeah.
I mean, I seen him at the Club World Cup, and I thought like good young player there, but it was his all-round game when he came off the bench and tracking back and putting his foot in and dribbling forward and putting crosses in. But it was huge for Maresca.
Yeah,
I think if he had lost that game or drew, I think the Chelsea fans were starting to turn.
Yeah, I
Back-to-back
agree.
defeats
I agree,
would have
man.
put him under pressure. Not really playing great football. That was a character performance.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
when you
I
look at
agree.
all the injuries and all the players that were playing different positions and all the young kids that come on like Estevao and done a really good job, you're looking at a Chelsea side which would be nowhere near their first 11.
Yeah.
That's like a character
Yeah, I
character
agree.
win. It's like, yeah, well played. that you're willing to dig in.
Right, let's continue on Chelsea and Caicedo, Don, because you were a midfielder as well. And obviously, it was a big move from Brighton.
Yeah.
He struggled at the beginning.
He went to Liverpool.
Yeah, of course.
I was hearing it was done.
Yeah, me too. I thought that would be a game changer for Klopp and him and them at the time. Tough at the beginning for Caicedo at Chelsea, also because he was Pochettino and they were all over the place
young.
and there was no struggle. And he was young. Now we see the real Caicedo, one of the best midfielders in his position for what he does in the world, right?
Amazing. He's one of a few, but you watch his all-round game now and you start to see a level of maturity, which always takes young players time to get.
Yeah.
You go into a new club, you sign a 7-8 year contract, you're on huge amounts of money. You're going to go to Liverpool, Chelsea then come in, you make a new move. You're surrounded by more young players.
Yeah.
And then you've got to try and be a £110 million player. So now we're watching a player now and you think that's why they paid the money. We knew the talent was there.
Yeah,
like Carlos Belieber.
Right,
he's going through a bad phase, but he's a £100 million player. Adam Wharton's another one. But you watch Caicedo now and you go, right, you on now, even though you're still young, I feel like he's at his top of his game.
Yeah,
it's now you've got to keep it there. When you get from a young age and you get to the top of the game and there's not much room to grow, tiny bits. But once you get to the very top, you got to keep it at the top as long as you can.
Yeah.
And I watch him play and I just think, play him anywhere. Play him right back.
Play
him as a 6, play him as an 8. Do it anywhere.
Yeah.
He's just got such a good appetite for the game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the goal is brilliant because the shot, the little dummy we both like before.
Yeah.
And the Liverpool defense that is dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping, almost letting him shoot, which is another one that we can address when we talk about Liverpool. But when Caicedo is in that kind of form, even if you have two centre-backs who are not centre-backs, like the ones that finished the game for Chelsea, certainly Reece James, Atto is more of a centre-back, I guess, there. But you know that Caicedo in front of you is going to sweep everything. Like, he's going to protect you so much, right?
Well, that's why Klopp wanted to buy him. And I can remember saying at the time...
Arsenal as well.
Yeah,
I thought I was so keen.
I was speaking to some of my pals at Liverpool, and the night before, it was all done. They thought it was done. And I said, game changer. He'll win Liverpool the league. Exactly what they needed at the time before, obviously, Gravenberch fell into this position. But I just, everything about him. I love his appetite. I like the way he puts his foot in. I like the way, and he can score more goals, and he probably needs to score more goals. That's always, I played that position, and I know he's a lot deeper, but if you can try and aim for double figures and get 10 goals a season or close to it, you're looking more or less the complete player. Yeah. It's sensational to watch.
It was interesting, I think, when the lineups came out and we saw that Gusto and Reece James were together in the starting lineup, which has happened before. I think a lot of us we thought, okay, Gusto is going to play our right back and Reece James in midfield, which again,
did he play 4-1-4-1? That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, a little bit, but still, I still expected maybe more Reece James to be in that kind of midfield area and Gusto right back. So when we saw Gusto, who is involved in the first goal because he's there between the line, played that pass perfect for Caicedo. I thought, great. Gusto used to be a midfielder at Lyon before, and he used to be a really good one. Yeah. It's just as often in a career when he got to the reserve team, I think, and he was 16 playing with the under-21s.
That was like you when you were banging in 100 goals a season. You were a number 9, and then obviously you come that little bit deeper, didn't you?
You know, because I was the smarter. So then I played into like a deep playing midfielder. But they needed a right back, and they also could see, although Gusto was a midfielder, sometimes on the right, sometimes more centrally, he just had an incredible stamina. Yeah. So right back was, in a way...
It's great for Maresca, isn't it, now?
Yeah.
You know, because I watch the top sides, and you've got to have versatile players. You've got to have players that are willing or can have the ability to play 3 or 4 positions.
Yeah, I agree.
You've seen that with Gusto, you've seen that with James, you've seen it with Caicedo. Enzo's another one. I think he's best as a number 10, but he can play deeper.
Yeah, definitely.
So they're going places, Chelsea.
Yeah, I think
they might be inconsistent.
They will be.
They're not going to win the title.
Yeah.
They're not ready for that just yet. I know we all say they're young, but they still are. And I still think there's room to improve Chelsea. I think they need a world-class number 1. I think they need a top-draw centre-back. We talk about Frank Leboeuf in Desailly, that sort of experienced player that can manage a game in-game when it's not going well for you. Yeah. They're still a little bit naive. Yeah. But you can't knock them on what they've done and how they played against Liverpool.
No, you're right. And still Cole Palmer, obviously, not being there.
And Esteval.
Yeah, Esteval was great when he came on. I mean... Good. Of those wingers, because we saw all 4 of them, by the way. We saw Neto, Estevao on one side, and first Garnacho, and then Gittens on the others. Yeah. I know they're not perfect. They all 4 of them very young, some younger than the others. Maybe Neto, the most kind of established Premier League one, because he had all those years of Wolves, more than Garnacho. Gittens certainly left and then came back, and Estevao is still very young. But you've got 4 good ones there that you need to make improve.
Yeah.
But they are decent options.
And it also gives you the choice if you're Maresca and you go whichever 2 of the 4 you want to go with. You've got another 2 good ones, very good ones on the bench.
Yeah, absolutely.
So an injury or lack of form or it's not going well for you, if Conor Bradley's getting the best out of Garnacho, you can take him off and put someone else on, Neto on that side, or the way that they play, they've got options. And that's what Chelsea want. I mean, they should have options, by the way. Spent over £1.5 billion. They should have options. But I think things are starting to fall into place, as in forward line now very good.
Yeah.
Loads of wide players that are very good. A midfield probably 4 or 5, 6 to die for. They had 7 keepers at one point. Now I think it's the world-class goalkeeper.
Yes.
See what Donnarumma's doing for Man City. See what Emi Martinez does for Villa. That world-class number 1. And I still think a top draw centre back, an experienced one, not a young one,
probably,
an experienced one. Having that ability to stand still.
I think Maresca wanted another one in another centre back in the summer, especially after the Colwell injury, which we knew he would be out for the whole season, and didn't get it. They didn't really want to give him that kind of experience from there, which is the decision. We'll see. But everything you said Don, that all the pieces are kind of starting to fit well.
Yeah.
That also adds more pressure on Maresca.
Yeah, but that's the territory, isn't it?
Because I think if they don't win on Saturday, the pressure is getting bigger.
Yeah, but that's the territory.
I worry for his future.
That is the territory. When you manage the big clubs, especially Chelsea, I mean, they've been a bonkers model for years. Sacking managers here, there, and everywhere, but winning Premier Leagues and winning Champions Leagues. The model's always been a little bit different.
Absolutely.
And a little bit crazy. But I go back to it. If you're a Chelsea fan, from when I played 90s and the noughties, it was up and at 'em, it was high tempo, it was intensity. The fans could get involved. They could latch onto the players. They could rattle their seats. And that's what we saw the week against Liverpool. That sort of game where sometimes I think the criticism from Chelsea fans to Maresca is sometimes it's a little bit pedestrian. It's a little bit like Guardiola-like.
Absolutely. But he's a disciple.
I know,
of course.
but I don't think it suits Chelsea at the bridge. They need intensity. They need atmosphere. They need it to be a little bit chaotic. They need it to be ferocious. And I think that's when you see the best out of Chelsea. Can Maresca provide that?
I'm not sure. But that second half was very much end-to-end, quite a lot.
Which suited Chelsea.
Which suited Chelsea. Although Liverpool had chances. We can talk about the goal that Chelsea, the winner for Chelsea in a bit. But first there's Mo Salah. And let's open that debate. 2, there's something that Slot said after the game when he said, well, we have more chances. Even against Palace, we had more chances, and I was like,
no, you're watching the wrong game.
This is not true. Even in this game, I'm not sure they have more chances than Chelsea to win it. But Salah should have done better. Certainly on the Wirtz,
100%.
Genius back here.
I mean, without mentioning...
So what is going on then? Because before
with Mo Salah, Mo
Salah.
Salah's technically never been a brilliant footballer. Mo Salah, sometimes when you watch him, or most of the time, excuse me, is quite scruffy. Brilliant finisher. Racks up amazing numbers, but when I watch Michael Olise at Bayern, I see like a beautiful footballer. I see a better footballer than Mo Salah.
Right.
Can he hit those sort of numbers? Probably not, but he's a different sort of player.
Different player.
So the uncomfortable conversation has to be, what's the long-term plan for Mo Salah? He's had a 2-year deal.
Well, that's the answer, right?
But if you're not playing well, then you can't be in the team. That's the problem Slot's got. So Arne Slot's now got this problem. And it's in about 4 or 5 different positions because the one player that should be starting for Liverpool now is Chiesa. He's in the best form alongside Ekitike. He's the guy
who's in best form because he comes on as a sub. And
maybe,
he's just a super sub.
But my point is, it's like Liverpool have got themselves in a situation where you can't drop Mo Salah because he hits the numbers. But why not if you're not playing well? So Chiesa could play on that side. I know it's a really uncomfortable and hard discussion because people are screaming, going, "You can't drop Mo Salah. You can't," and you can't. But you can. Do you know what I mean?
I hear you.
So even if you go into the Chelsea game, the forward that was in format of Ekitike and Isak was Ekitike. So it's like you can't drop Isak, but you can. Do you know what I mean? And you can't drop Gakpo, but you can.
But you think Slot would do that, right? I mean,
I don't know because
it's
uncomfortable. Because and why I say it's uncomfortable because if the next game, say Man United at home, and Arne Slot wants to do something tactically different and he drops Mo Salah, plays someone else, and Liverpool lose. Massive headlines around the world. So you half don't want to get into that territory, but you've then got to do the right thing for your team and for your club to get results. Now, I'm not saying drop Mo Salah as the answer. I'm just saying Liverpool have got that many forwards now. They're in a really uncomfortable position where I think the rebuild has just started to happen, but I think they're halfway through that rebuild. I think there's more players, or should be, in my opinion, more players to come in. Some players need to be phased out.
Yeah, but you can't spend £400 million every
but
summer.
made about 250,
yeah,
280.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but
so if you're asking me, would I take?
Yeah, but you don't have many more players you can sell for that amount now.
No, but I mean, it might be fantasy football, but if you're saying to me, who'd you rather have, McAllister or Adam Wharton? Adam Wharton all day long.
Okay, so you spend 100 million on Wharton, but then what do you do with McAllister? You keep him. Because
you might have to sell Curtis Jones. You might have to sell a lot more. I'm not. It's fantasy football. Yeah. But if you're asking me who's a better centre half, Marguehi or Konate, it's Marguehi.
Yeah. That's a more
Joe Gomez
swap because they're both out of contract.
Or you sell then Joe Gomez. What I'm saying is, it's like the rebuild is halfway through, but I'm watching a team that's not complete because more players need to come in. It's still a mystery to me why Liverpool never got the Guehi signing over the line. When they bid 35, 40 million, I know Palace couldn't get the centre-halves in, but it's a chance to have Guehi for 6 years.
No.
If I was Liverpool and Richard Hughes, I would have went, right, we're offering 35, and it was like, Humlin and Haren thought it was done, maybe not. What do you want? Yeah. Is it 45? Is it 50?
Yeah.
Because 50 now for a player you're going to have for 6 years, bargain, in my opinion.
Yeah,
so I think the rebuild's halfway there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a transition year anyway, but we knew that.
Yeah.
Remember when Slot arrived, he had no new players to integrate.
Would you agree that Michael Olise is a better footballer than Mo Salah? Because I think he is.
Like, as in technically gifted, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got less pace, for example, than Salah. So it depends if you prefer the pace or if you prefer somebody who won't have that pace, but probably better.
It's because the conversation is that Mo Salah has been hitting like 25 goals, like regular, like phenomenal.
He's a good scorer who plays on the right.
When you then take the goals away from Mo Salah, what are you then left with?
Last season there was a lot of assists. I think he hit 15 or 16 assists.
I get you. I'm being ultra picky.
No, I know.
I'm just trying to say, you lose so much, and it's very obvious, and you're losing Mo Salah's goals, but you're losing where I think that position can be improved in time. It might not be a panic buy now.
Yeah, no.
But I would imagine. I would imagine Liverpool.
33 years old. So
I would imagine Liverpool are keeping eyes on players because it has to happen, right?
Of course,
it has to happen where Van Dijk gets replaced.
Of course,
Mo Salah gets replaced. It has to happen.
100%. Yeah.
So the eyes will be on the ground now, right? Who potentially could come in for Mo Salah, either now, in a year, or 2 years' time. The way Olise is going, I think he could be the man.
The thing about this squad now is very much Arne Slot's team. The team that won the title last year was Arne Slot's team, but it was Jurgen Klopp's team, really, let's be honest. It was his squad. Yeah. There was no new signing when Slot arrived in the summer or in January. Chiesa doesn't really count.
Yeah.
This very much is, this is Arne Slot team, this is my team. The thing is, you have to integrate all those new players.
Which is going to be hard.
Wirtz, Kerkers, Frimpong.
So how do you get tactically Ekitike, Isak and Wirtz?
I don't think they can play together. I don't think Isak and Ekitike can play together.
I'd hate the thought of Ekitike being shoved out to the left wing.
I know.
I'd hate the thought of that.
But we saw a little bit of them together against Galatasaray, and that was the case. One has to kind of shift a little bit. Or you play a completely different system, and then you have a front two, old school way.
Yeah.
A 10 behind in Wirtz, or even a flat 4, and you play 4-4-2.
Yeah.
But then you have Mo Salah on the right-hand side. And the thing to finish with Mo Salah, as we saw against Chelsea on Saturday, he obviously doesn't defend much, certainly less than he used to.
Because it's all about the numbers now.
Well, I don't think he was ever the most unselfish defensive. Let's strike back and let's follow my...
He'd done it to a degree.
Yeah,
to be fair to him, he worked really hard.
On Saturday, he didn't do it at all. So Cucurella had literally him and Garnacho first, him and Gittens then is just like, hey, let's go. There's a 2v1 here all the time pretty much. Let's go.
I mean, that conversation will happen when he goes to AFCON.
Yeah.
So then...
Because then you will have a Chiesa there.
Then you can try.
Whatever. Yeah, of course.
Then you can try.
And we will see what they do. But yeah, this transition, now you have to integrate all those players. It's difficult. The balance is not right.
No. They've lost control.
Complete control.
People said last season, which really wrecked my head, when Liverpool winning 2, 3 and 4-0, they're boring. It's like, how can you be boring? Because Liverpool are not boring now, but they're not winning games. It's basketball stuff. Yeah. And Liverpool at their best, which I'm seeing in Arsenal now, Liverpool at their best last season controlled nearly every single game they played.
So how come then, where is... Because this is the same midfielders last season. The one that started against Chelsea, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gravenberch, is the same as last season.
Yeah.
So you've lost control because
Was
with the ball-
shoehorning Florian Wirtz on the left-hand side against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, but
when
let's
their
talk about this Chelsea game.
Yeah, but just very quickly, that was a mistake on comms when I was commentating on the game, watching Florian Wirtz on the left-hand side against Crystal Palace when Daniel Munoz is one of the best runners in the Premier League, and he was up and down for fun.
I mean,
So-
that team from Slot makes no sense. The team against Galatasaray, I know you said you can try the Champions League. It made no sense to me.
No, I get it, but it was
Frimpong
it was
there,
worth
stuff
an
like that.
experiment because
Yeah,
there's so many
maybe.
games. I get it.
So, but that midfield three, which is the same as last season, right, doesn't have that control in possession, out of possession. So I think McAllister is the shadow of himself right now.
Lacking a bit of fitness.
Yeah,
Didn't have a
clearly.
good preseason,
Clearly.
so he's
And
not sharp.
not sharp. And if you don't have his
And,
control
and,
on
and,
the ball,
and confidence, Jules, is something
Yeah, probably.
we're very lucky in the modern game that you can measure all the data in the world. You can never measure a player and a team's confidence.
yeah,
You know, Liverpool strut out last season every game thinking, we're going to boss this, we're going to dominate this, we're going to have control, we're going to play a slower tempo of football, but we're going to be completely in control of midfield, going to get a wide man and Diaz, or he played as a false nine
yeah.
last season, done really well. Salah got his numbers. They were probably on average, if you probably analyse Liverpool now and Liverpool last season, I reckon they've probably lost 20 yards in the average positions. Liverpool last season were all
the
high up
mid
the
block,
pitch.
the mid block we saw against
Now they're
Chelsea
deep.
is not right.
And
anyway.
can McAllister cover that ground?
Yeah,
No.
no,
Curtis Jones
definitely.
is not that sort of player.
Yeah.
Gravenberch's the 6. So it's on Florian Wirtz to create magic. It's on your front men. It's on Salah. It's on Gakpo.
Yeah,
Chiesa is the one I think needs or should have a start. It's how
Yeah,
how do
maybe.
you get him in? I don't know.
the thing is as well. You mentioned Trent earlier, and I think with Trent, we know the weaknesses defensively. We don't need to.
I
go
was
back
never
on
bothered by that.
No, I know you were not. But Liverpool used to, for example, build up a time with the flat four. So you'll have Robertson,
Yeah.
Trent, and then Konate and Van Dijk,
Yeah.
plus Gravenberch in there as your main option. or
On probably
McAllister.
the halfway line.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you're watching them now.
Yeah, they're a bit deeper. And that medium block, again, didn't work against Chelsea at all and didn't really work so far this season against Palace as well.
Yeah.
You just get picked. Now, you don't have Robertson and Trent because you've got, let's say, Frimpong and Kirkers who are already, when you
Yeah.
try to build up from the back, already 20 yards up. on
Frimpong's
each side.
struggling.
Yeah.
Frimpong's struggling really badly.
Kirkers as well. We mentioned some of his mistakes that he's made
Yeah.
and that he hasn't really stepped up yet to, this is not Bournemouth anymore.
No.
This is Liverpool.
You can't kick the ball out for a throw-in against Crystal Palace. You
Yeah.
play for Liverpool. You can do that for
Yeah.
Bournemouth. Andy Robertson should know better. I mean, I was watching the goal unfold against Chelsea. I'm thinking, I know you've made a big run, but why you got your hands on your knees and you're not looking at Esteval?
So you think he was, so
I think he was knackered. I think he took like a little
He
mental
played
break.
20 minutes.
No, I know. I just when you see it back again, he'd made about a
Yeah,
70-yard
yeah.
run and
Yeah,
a
yeah,
70
no, I
yard
remember,
back.
yeah.
Now you can do it. Obviously, professional footballers, they're fit, and I think he's just took a little crazy half a second where he thought I'm blowing, but he's got himself in a really awkward, horrible
Yeah.
position, hands on knees.
Yeah.
Took his eyes off Esteval. Should have been side on. Defend
That's
the
biggest
situation.
mistake for me, really.
Defend the situation.
Yeah.
Then get your breather.
Yeah.
Worst case, kicking out for a corner.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
Just
and then reset.
just make sure the ball doesn't come through. Like,
And he
in front
will
of goal like
be
that.
so annoyed, Andy Robertson, at
yeah,
what
I'm
he done
sure,
there.
but it's not good enough.
No,
Anyway.
it's not good enough.
He's
And,
definitely
and
not good enough.
Kirk, I thought he'd be the one that hit the ground running.
Yeah.
I've watched every Liverpool game this season, but I watched the Southampton game in the Cup.
Yeah.
Frimpong started, had a nightmare.
Yeah.
Kept giving the ball away, starting to lose his confidence. And you think, oh, right, well, you need to do more because you could be playing. You know,
Yeah,
you, you and Conor Bradley are vying for the same position.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
why Szoboszlai's been playing at right back
Well, yeah.
because
for that,
Frimpong's not good enough at the moment.
Yeah, but also for that control, for the build-up phase that we mentioned earlier. There's a lot of things for Slot.
You stick all of that, Jules, in the pot, and you
Yeah,
go,
yeah.
crikey, there's a lot of problems there.
There is.
There's a lot of problems.
More
Now,
than
the
we
good
antici-
thing,
More than we
oh,
anticipated.
definitely. 'Cause I think we saw with Isak coming in, going to take time. Ekitike, brilliant, had a fantastic start. He will be amazing for Liverpool, I'm guaranteed. I expected a little bit more from Florian Wirtz, but at the same time, he's been unlucky because he's put a couple on a plate for Mo Salah and he's missed them, so his numbers could be a little bit better, but still, he's a brilliant player, going to take a little bit of time to adjust. But midfield, defensively, I mean, Liverpool just not keeping clean sheets.
Yeah, where do you go from there then? How do you sort out
Well,
this lack of control? Because
the best
really-
thing for Liverpool is they've got Man United, and I don't mean
Yeah,
that
yeah.
for Man United fans. What I mean is, you as a player, when you're off the back of a few bad results, you don't want Wolves coming to Anfield in a
Yeah.
game or a Palace coming to Anfield where you're
Yeah,
expected to
yeah.
win, but you might get a draw.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
want a massive game The crowd are on
Everybody's
it.
pumped, yeah.
The crowd are on it like they were in the Arsenal game. The
Yeah.
intensity's there. The atmosphere, it'll be ferocious. The players don't need a team talk because the adrenaline will be in the players.
Yeah.
You're playing against your biggest rival. That's the sort of game you need.
Yeah.
And it can be all turned around in 190 minutes. If Liverpool play really well, score loads of goals, but really convince everyone they're back.
Yeah.
If they don't, then we're starting to look at a crisis.
Just finally, Isak has been credited for the assist for the Gakpo goal.
Yeah.
We agree that this is not what he meant, right?
No.
It's the first touch for himself at best.
Yeah.
He just
I
put his
actually saw
leg
some
here.
positive signs in him, you know.
Yeah, me too.
The two
But
positive
again-
signs
but
was him and
again-
Mamardashvili.
Yeah.
I thought Mamardashvili was really good.
Yeah, he was really good as well. But again, like Isak cannot not succeed at Liverpool. He's just too good for that in such a
Yeah.
good team with such a good manager.
Yeah.
It might just take him 1 month, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, I don't know what.
I saw a lot more fitness in his game
Yeah, which
against Chelsea.
they're building up clearly.
Exactly,
Yeah, and
exactly.
Wirtz the same. Surely Wirtz at some
I
point.
mean, if Mo Salah scores that goal on his right foot at the far post when he shanks it,
Yeah.
people will be talking about that mid-air Cruyff flick from flying reverse for years.
It's a genius. It's a genius
Genius
touch.
move.
Absolutely.
And like,
absolutely.
he gets punished on
Yeah,
like
yeah.
socials because people go, no assists.
I know.
Well, what more can you do?
I know, exactly. So it's not all bad, Liverpool fans, but let's wait until the United game.